Hey friends, it's Mari here. I've got a layout here to share with you today for the Scrapbook Nerd online shop. And I'm going to be working with some basil marshmallow cardstock here as my base, and I've treated it with some Vicky Bouton gesso. I was choosing between these two photographs, which I've printed in black and white at 4x3. I wanted to just use one photograph on my layout today, and I'm working with a gorgeous Floral Market collection from Cartabella. I want to use this pink and cream horizontal stripe as a band across the center of my layout here, which is going to be the base for the home for my photograph and where I am going to build the rest of the layout. So I'm just trimming that down to a strip, and then I'm going to put that black and cream colored stripe paper going the opposite direction as the stripes on the pink and cream, just to add a little bit of contrast in that way. I'm going to distress the edges of all of the papers here today that I'm working with, or most of them, and I'm going to be working with the picket fence brushes here, these gorgeous brushes that Joy brought into the shop. I really love them, and they are so much fun to work with. And I'm using Tattered Rose, I think it's called, from the Distress Oxide inks, and I'm also going to be using Broken China. Now that looks really dark on there right now, but don't worry, I am going to distress this with some water. I'm just checking out to make sure that I like the tone of that blue before I keep going here to match up with the Floral Market collection. And these life-changing brushes are just so fun to blend with, and they do blend really nicely on that gesso. So now I just took some water, spritzed that on there, taking my paper towel and dabbing that off. I'll let that dry for a little bit, and now I've added those two colors to a couple of spots on my layout. I will add another little area in a little while here. Now I wanted to distress the edge of this paper, and at first I didn't really love it, but when I'm looking back at this, I do really love it, and I'm really kind of mad at myself for going in with this ruler and straightening it out, because I think that the rougher edge, the really tattered edge there that it was, looked better than this. But anyway, I work with it. So you can see that I've got that other little frame on there that's over top of the picture. That is from one of the die cut packs from the collection. And that matches up with that patterned paper that I've used a strip of above and below the horizontal strip, just to match up with that little frame. I think that looks really neat, and I love how this little frame just really draws your eye right to Bailey and Brady in this photograph. Now for a piece of what I did with a piece of the paper from the collection is I just fussy cut the florals, and then I took some of the Tim Holtz Thinlits. This is the Funky Floral number 3 Thinlit dies that I'm using here to create the little foliage that I cut from one of the 6x6 pattern papers. And I'm going to use those little foliage pieces just to stick in behind the fussy cut pieces here. And you can see there that I'm just doing that now, just placing them to see how I like this. And I wanted all of these little fussy cut and die cut pieces to create two clusters, one kind of on the angle of that black and white paper, one above the paper, and then eventually I'm going to put another little cluster over to the right. So I'm just kind of getting things placed here at this point, just kind of trying to decide where I want everything. And now that same patterned paper that I used to die cut those little floral pieces from the Thinlits, I'm going to use that same paper to back my photograph. Here is another layer just to bring that beautiful blue color into the photo mat as well. So I'm going to lift up that photo on some craft foam adhesive. And now what I'm doing is I just went into my stash and I found a gold phrase sticker. This is from Heidi Swap's Color Fresh collection. And I just really love the font of this puffy sticker, and I'm gonna put that on there. It says "Together," which you can see. Obviously I've got a really fantastic spot, a little ledge to put that word there at the bottom of that horizontal strip across the center there to the right of the photo, and that is going to be my title. Now I'm also going to go with a little bit of a heart theme here, so you're going to see me adding some hearts here and there as well. And here you can see I'm just going to adhere that little frame over top of my photo, just using a little bit of tape runner. So I like how that looks, and I just like how that finishes off that photograph, and I love the shape of that frame. I think that's really cool. Now I am going to use some of the brads. At first I was going to just take the time to trim off the back of the brads and then just put some adhesive foam on there and add that little heart brad. The second brad I add, I'm too lazy to cut the back off of it, and I just poke a hole in the layout and put the brad in as an actual brad. So the top one says lovely, and then that little black and cream colored heart at the bottom. I wanted to just add a few little pops of black here and there on the layout as well, just to complement that black photo mat in the photo layer. And now I'm going to the sticker sheet, which I absolutely love, by the way. This is a must for me when there's a big sticker sheet like this in these Echo Park Cartabella collections or Simple Stories, etc. Same kind of thing. I love these sticker sheets. They are so awesome. There's so much bang for your buck there with these sheets, and I'm going to use a whole bunch of the little hearts. There's tons of these little hearts on that sticker sheet, and I'm just going to kind of use them as confetti around the layout. Now I'm also going to use some of these little puffy hearts that are on that same Heidi Swap sheet, and I'm going to use one of the little phrase stickers from the Cartabella sticker sheet. Again, this one says lovely, and I'm just going to stick that in the side of the photograph. Now I created another little area to the right and top of the layout there for another cluster, just to balance it off. And I did that with some chipboard, and again with the little die cut pieces using the thinlits. And now I'm just going in with some enamel, black tiny enamel dots from the Floral Market collection, just to add a little tiny little bit of pop of black to each of the little cluster areas. So I'm liking how that's looking, and you can see here I've added my journaling strips as well. And the journaling strips I just created with my computer and just printed those off and trimmed them up with my Tim Holtz trimmer and glued those down. And now I am just taking a look at this, and I'm thinking I would really like to add some gold splatters. So I went into my stash and grabbed my Heidi Swap Color Shine, and I'm going to add some of those splatters here in a minute. I also decided that I wanted to add a little bit more of that broken china down at the bottom, and just to even out where all of that color is for the mixed media on the layout. And I hadn't cleaned those brushes yet, so that was perfect. There's still quite a bit of ink on there, and it's kind of nice to use that ink up anyways on those brushes before you clean them, even if it means rubbing it onto just a piece of scrap white paper that you might have so that you could die cut something with them, etc. It seems like a shame to waste the ink. And over here on the right where I'm dabbing that right now, I just thought that the blue was a little bit intense. So I'm just adding some more water and dabbing that up, and then it just takes away some of that color. Here's that color shine, and then I'm going to be done here today. So make sure that you check out the Floral Market collection over at Scrapbook Nerd. I will leave a link in the description box below. I'm also going to have a bunch of still shots here at the end, just to show you some close-ups and the finished layout. I'll just take that little postcard deal that I have over top of my photo here just to protect it. I'll take that off, and I have taken some photographs here of my layout. So thank you so much for stopping by today, guys. I really appreciate it. I hope you have an amazing day, and I hope to see you back here on my channel sometime soon. So have an amazing day, and I'll see you again. Bye-bye.